All right, everyone, this is the Calisthenics 201 class, which means we are in serious business now. No more fun like we had on the 101 class. Okay, I think that's enough time for all the losers to have left. Welcome, everyone, to Calisthenics 201 Pull Ups and Beyond. We're going to cover pull ups and what goes beyond after pull ups. These will also set us up for future courses down the road. In this course, we are going to cover how to take our rowing movements that we did in the 101 course and bring that up to a pull up, how to master our pull ups, and then we'll go over some high level overviews of other beyond pull up movements that we can do and why you might want to pursue one over the other. Let's get started. To advance from a row up to a pull up, first you need to make sure that your rowing movements that we covered in the 101 course are on lock. They're feeling good, you've done them for a while, you feel really strong with them. We can start looking into more pull up based specificity. For this, we need to start getting into assisted pull ups either via a machine, which some gyms will have, or by attaching a resistance band around a pull up bar that you can use as a mini counterweight. Once you're able to find a variation that you are able to progress with, put that at the start of your workouts when you are most fresh. Do 3 to 5 sets of these and then go down and do your rowing movements right after. To progress with this, you can either get a lighter resistance band, so that way you'll be lifting more of your body weight, or by taking away weight as the counterweight on the machine at the gym. This is going to slowly, progressively overload and build you towards your attempts at pull ups. Once you've gotten to a point where the resistance band or the resistance on the machine has lessened quite a bit, now is the time to start adding in some dead hangs. You need to be able to hold your own weight on the bar if you're going to ever do a pull up. You can also start doing some shrugs up on the pull up bar just to get used to activating your lats. This will be a game changer coming up soon. Once you spend some time with that lighter assistance pull ups, as well as doing your dead hangs and shrugs, and by spend some time, I'm talking about several weeks to several months, you're able to do multiple reps and hang for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Now is the time for your pull up attempts. Do them at the start of the workout, do one, maybe two attempts, and then go into your regression work. And then from there, once you're finally able to get that magic pull up, celebrate, do some regressions afterwards. You got to get those strength gains, right? And then get ready to start building up more and more pull ups. Let's dig into some technique now that you've either mastered your pull up or you're still progressing towards it and want to think about all the different components that are going to go into mastering it. First up, grip. You want to get a firm grip on the bar by either jumping on the bar or stepping off a box, but I don't really recommend jumping as much because you might miss, and that would be hilarious for everyone, except for you. Once you're on the bar, you want to make sure that you have all 4 fingers engaged. Yes, that includes the pinky. Don't forget about the pinky. Once you have that, your thumb should wrap underneath and press up against your pointer and your middle finger. Once you have that solid grip, you can either rotate your hands forward and have more of your palm on the bar, or rotate back and have your fingers engaged. This is kind of a comfortability and personal preference. Now we can start thinking about starting the pulling motion, but to do so, we need to engage our back. To do so, we are going to depress our scapula. For this, we are pushing our shoulders and traps down and trying to think about having a nice posture, which is kind of challenging when you're hanging from a bar and you want to be shrugging like crazy. With the shrug engaged, we now want to start pulling upward. We are going to be engaging our forearms and squeezing the bar and squeezing our back and pulling ourselves upwards. In general, I tend to find that the bottom part of the pull up is more back oriented and the top part is more forearm oriented. If you're struggling at one part more than the other, that's the area you want to focus on. Also, during this phase, try to keep your legs straight. I know a lot of people like to bend their legs, but hey, we're going for aesthetics here. Keep a nice rocket ship like physique. Don't try to bend your legs or do some sort of kipping motion. No one likes that. Keep a straight line. Be perfect. Lastly, don't forget you have to come down after pulling up, so lower yourself down slow and controlled. The biggest part of injuries can usually come during this lowering phase because gravity is going to take that body weight and thrust it downward, and that is not good for your elbow joints. Yes, I've done that a couple times. It can suck. But once you have that, that's the pull up technique. So you've got your first pull up. What next? Well, for me, I would say at this point, you need to be able to keep what you were previously doing. You want to keep your regressions, that's your assisted pull ups, your rowing movements, any bicep curls, etc., still in your workout, but now they are bumped down the totem pole. Your pull ups are at the start. Here, I'd recommend doing, your set of one and either adding in some assistance right afterwards. So do a pull up and immediately get your assistance band out and doing another rep, or you can just do your one rep, take a minute to 3 minutes worth of rest, and do another rep and keep that light for maybe 2 to 3 sets at max, and then going and doing your strength building stuff with your regressions afterwards. This way, you're going to build up the ability to do your pull up. The strength gains comes from a consistent workout where you start with your hardest and regress down to your easiest movements and build that strength curve. Let's say now that you can do multiple pull ups, whether you already could or you followed my advice because you are an overachiever and were able to slowly build your pull ups. From here, there's plenty of options that you can start progressing towards. I'm going to go over some high level concepts here on the different approaches you can take. And then in future courses, we will break them down a little bit further, and then you can start mastering each one step by step. If we look at the pull up tree, there are numerous different branches you can take. Luckily, they're all pretty synergistic and can help each other no matter which route you take. We have weighted pull ups, one arm pull ups, muscle ups, front lever, and question mark, which is all the other crazy things that exist out there, like one arm muscle ups and whatever those crazy gymnasts do. They're wild. I wouldn't try that in a million years, but you might. Starting off with weighted pull ups, these are your bread and butter and probably your easiest to start progressing with because all you really need to do is add on 5 pounds, which isn't really that bad. Heck, you could even put a 1 pound ankle weight on, and technically it would be considered weighted pull ups. For these, this is going to help build up a strong and powerful back. I highly recommend adding these into your workout, even if you want to go towards another route, because the strength that you can build from doing a weighted pull up, even with lower amounts of weight added, has great carryover to any of the other variants that we do. For weighted pull ups, I already have a weighted pull up simplified video, which I highly recommend, but I'll also have additional courses coming out for weighted pull ups coming soon. Muscle ups. This is all about being explosive and flying over the bar. We're going from getting your chin just over the bar to your entire body. To do so, you need to explode when you're doing your pulling motion and follow a slightly different path around the bar. I highly recommend my Muscle Up Simplified video, but I'll also be throwing additional course materials just like the weighted pull ups. One arm pull ups. You want to be a show off, so you're just going to do a pull up with one arm. This one is taking your strength to the next level because you're almost doing twice your body weight, which means it's way more advanced than the other movements. From here, you are going to need to do a bunch of different types of regression work to actually get enough strength in both your muscles and tendons to go and get that chin above the bar with only one arm holding you up. I recommend my one arm pull up simplified video, but don't worry, even like the other ones, I'll probably have a lot more courses on one arm pull up stuff coming soon. Lastly, the front lever. This is for people that just like to hang around, if hanging around means parallel to the ground with straight arms like a crazy person. This one is completely different from your other pulling movements because you're just holding yourself in place in a very difficult position. I don't currently have a simplified video for this, but it's in the works. And don't worry, there'll be more course material coming that'll break this movement down for you. Ring, ring, ring. Up, that's the bell. Class is over. Thanks for sticking around, class. Your homework is to go do more pull ups and more rows and to get a huge back as best as you possibly can. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below on what your current progress is or anything I can do to update these course videos going forward. I do enjoy making them, but want to make sure it's as good as possible for you guys. Have a good one. Be strong.